Okay, so this video tutorial aims to go through the use of the Shiny web application that comes with the powdR package for R. We'll start by loading the package into R, and in order to get the web application to load up, simply run the function run_powdR with no arguments. And upon loading that, it'll load all of the required packages and open the application in your default web browser. And first of all, in this video, we're going to go through the first tab of the web application, which is the reference library builder. And this is it seeks to be a pretty user-friendly way of building a reference library for the full pattern summation of X-ray powder diffraction data. And the way it does so is by combining two files into a specific file format, which is an object called a powdRlib object. And this is a key component of the package because it ensures that data are in the right format for the subsequent functions for quantitative phase analysis. So there are two files that this web application needs to build a library. First is the X-ray powder diffraction data of all of the pure phases you're using as standards. And an example of the format can be downloaded as this CSV file, just to have a look at it. So if we open that up, we can see the format that you should try and aim for if you're producing your own library. So we have on the A column, the first column, we have the 2 theta axis. So it's could be a very long table depending on your diffraction data, and then every other column is the count intensities of a standard pattern, and each column has to be labeled with a unique ID. Can't have any that are the same. And the second component to create the library is the phase information for each of the standard patterns. So if we have a look at this data, we can see that this data simply contains 3 columns, the phase ID column, a phase name column, and an RIR column, which stands for the reference intensity ratio. So the phase ID is the unique ID that you gave all of the phases in the previous sheet we were looking at, and the phase name column gives you an opportunity to specify what mineral group or phase group that standard belongs to. So you can have multiple phases for a given mineral, multiple standards for a given mineral in your library, and then the reference intensity ratio is a measure of the diffracting power of each phase relative to a standard. And in the case of these, it's all relative to corundum. So by loading those two components into the web application, which we'll do now, it creates your library basically. So we'll just load those two. I've downloaded them previously, and to get it to build a library, just click to build library, and then all being that if you've done it all correctly, there shouldn't be any problems, and your library should build, and you'll get a table of all of the phases in the library you've just built. So we have 14 standard patterns, and they're all tabulated here, just some summary information. And then you can export the library as an RData file. And this here gives you the opportunity to name it whatever you like. And this will be the name that the object gets if you subsequently load it into RStudio. So I'll just save that there. So that's a summary of how you can build your library of standard patterns, or the reference library, in the web application. And and hopefully that's a bit easier than running it via our code